We miss him terribly. He's just a baby.
The wounds still as raw as the day Carson Preston left this earth.
You wake up with it every day.
Constantly wondering what he would look like, how tall he would be.
Parents Janine and Casey say to know Carson was to love him, a fun-loving, intelligent 12-year-old obsessed with reading and a talented athlete.
Fierce competitor who actually loved and cared for the people he was wrestling against or playing against.
He was everything you wanted a young man to be.
In 2021, the couple bought a gun safe at Shields in Sparks.
As we have kids, and we know that kids are curious, and we wanted to make sure that we were doing our part in protecting our kids and locking all the guns up.
They chose this Fortress quick access safe with a biometric lock that requires a fingerprint to unlock. Casey, an electrician by trade, says he programmed and tested it.
I'm confident that I read the directions and tested it and made sure it worked properly.
But on January 28th, 2022, every parent's worst nightmare.
It's been the most horrific thing that we have ever been through.
Carson managed to open the safe and shot himself. His parents say he was not struggling with mental health.
My son made an irrational decision, impulsive, and he was just curious.
What they learned next made the pain even worse. In a lawsuit, they alleged that anyone's fingerprint can unlock the safe if it has not been properly set up. They contacted lawyers and sued Fortress, the manufacturer, and Shields for wrongful death and negligence. It says the instructions for the safe are unreasonably confusing, and it can appear to indicate that a fingerprint has been properly recorded when in fact it has not, leaving the safe unlocked to anyone who touches the fingerprint scanner. Attorney William Sykes' firm filed the suit.
The default position for this safe is to be unlocked. For example, if someone attempts to scan their fingerprint and the scan doesn't work, instead of locking the product, it unlocks the product, which is extremely scary.
What's more, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission and Fortress Safe announced a recall of 61,000 gun safes last month, including the Fortress model, for the malfunctioning fingerprint scan. One commissioner called it, quote, the most concerning recall that's ever come across my desk. CPSC Chair Alex Hohn-Sarek.
And then to have this happen where you think you're protected and then your child dies, I can't imagine the tragedy and the heartbreak that the family is going through.
Making things even more difficult for the Prestons, the lawsuit claims Shields received reports and complaints the product was defective and yet, quote, continued to advertise the gun safe.
We believe the evidence will ultimately show that Shields either knew or should have known that there were complaints about this product before Carson's death.
The CPSC says there are 39 other reports where people got access to guns that were thought to be secured. In an email, a spokesperson for the manufacturer Fortress said, quote, we have no other comments or information to provide.
Good morning, this is Ben Marjat with News 4 Fox.
Shields representatives did not respond to multiple calls and emails seeking comment, but the company countersued the Prestons, claiming the product was misused and or altered or modified in some way, and that plaintiffs may be responsible for the alleged injuries and damages suffered.
It was a gut punch.
It was insulting or frustrating to them to turn around and blame us.
Today, the safes are off store shelves, but the lawsuit seeking to hold the companies accountable moves forward, as does the Prestons' mission to make sure this can never happen to another family.
I made a promise to Carson after the fact that this was not going to be for nothing, that I would find justice for him.
In Sparks, Ben Marjat reporting.